Okay, so hello, for the people who just joined, welcome to iGV webinar for realization team leaders. Yes, so first want to say that I decided to do this webinar just to give you a little bit more info how to prepare to the realization and what you need to do in different blocks of preparation. So here we will discuss this stuff. Yes, and if to talk about agenda, what we will discuss today. So first point is actually agenda of the project, preparation week, standards and completed explanation, worst case scenario material, checklist for team leader, your attitude and relations with EPs, my learning from realization as team leader, VP and LCP actually also, and for sure some time for questions. So let's go. Yes, so maybe some of you saw already. I shared with your VPs and with some of the team leaders agenda for the project VB. So you can check it by the link here. So if you want to use it or even partly use it, you can just copy the spreadsheet and change it in the way you want. It's just let's say Canva, which you can use like really by your desire. Like you can create something yours, but make sure that also it will be detailed. So when you will go to this tool, you will see next like pictures. So there will be logo of the project and number of recommended working hours for EP per day. So it's 6 working hours. Later we will discuss it in one of the standards. Like why 6, yes, and why not 5 as usually people think. Yes, so in general it takes around 30 hours per week. Yes, and if we talk about interaction with kids, so minimum should be 1 hour interaction of same kids per day. So some of the people who were helping me with this agenda, they said that yeah, like some professional people, they said that minimum it should be like around 1 hour. Yes, and recommended not more than 2 hours, maybe a little bit more, with same kids per day. So it will be not too much. Yes, if to talk about skills that we will help to develop in children. So here are the competences, the skills, yes, that some children need to develop right now according to the, let's say, rankings of the needed skills for children in 5-10 years. So these children will grow up and they will go to the job and they for sure will need to have some base like in terms of soft skills. So here they are for 7, 12 years old children. They will need to like you will help with your project to develop 5 next skills is creativity, problem solving, emotional intelligence, leadership and work in the team, of course. And for the older children from 13 till 17 years old, you will develop leadership, decision making, emotional intelligence, work in the team, critical thinking and problem solving, plus project management. Yes, and if to talk about design templates for presentations, so because this is actually the problem that I was facing like a lot of times, that EP were spending more time to do the presentation pretty, that to do the presentation valuable in terms of information. So of course they will develop themselves in presentation skills, but it should not all also influence on the level of the information and presentations that they deliver to other people, right? So here are some templates for presentation, especially the second one. It's super nice. I recommend you to use it. Okay, if to talk about preparation week and like the things that also is given in the agenda, so you need to have preparation week or at least some preparation days. If you cannot handle to have it all physically, so do some of them virtually in January. Yes, it will help a lot. So if to talk about preparation week, so right now you can see it by days. So day 1 for sure it should be incoming preparation seminar, and also it should be like what blocks should be discussed here, what topics. So first one is explanation about ISEC. Next one is like really detailed explanation about exchange standards and how to fill the form of the standards, like how to go and pick like fields that some standards were provided already. I really recommend to do it on incoming preparation seminar, to teach EPs to do it, because again, I was doing it with some of the people, and for some of the EPs, some of the volunteers, it was quite hard even to find like where to fill the standards. So I recommend you to put enough people to the EPs and really to sit with them and to teach how to fill it. Next one is expectation setting. So here is the blocks that we should provide again on incoming preparation seminar, to set all of the expectations about needed stuff as accommodation, about working conditions and so on. So this is very important session. And actually, like, if to talk not about formal stuff but team routine or working routine, I recommend you also to prepare some information, like, and some, let's say, your expectation to EPs, not to think during the session about it, so you will have everything prepared. Yes, also the session, be ambassador of your country, because through EPs that we have here, through foreigners, we represent our ISEC in Ukraine also, and we need to make them to present our organization and actually their countries in the best way possible. Next one is worst case scenario and goal setting. Yes, and also here should be part worst case scenario. So we should tell to the EPs that not everything will be perfect. For sure, they need to expect some things that they will go not in the way they expected, and also some maybe really like not cool things will happen in terms of logistics, that they can lose something, or yes, they for example, can lose their passport or some money or some other stuff, so they need to be prepared for it and to know that ISECers will always help them. Goal setting. So here is the part when EPs need to put their goals together with ISECers, also discussed what was put it before. Yes, and if to talk about day 4, so day 4 will be dedicated for team rules and expectation setting, also for EPs to teach how to give and receive feedback, and how to work with children. So these 3 topics are super important. Yes, because first week, like, to my mind, is the most important week of your realization, because you can set the routines and you can start to build the like your lessons. You can start to build your agenda in the way that you really want, and to put this information to EPs. Yes, also you need to be able to give and receive feedback from to EPs and from EPs, and EPs should understand that they can not only complain, but also they should say feedback in a proper way. Also, part how to work with children, because a lot of EPs they don't have experience of teaching or communicating with children before, so here we should give a small lesson how to do it. Actually, yes, actually I had this preparation days when I was on the internship in Slovakia, and it really helped us to, you know, be prepared for the internship. Yes, next one, yes, and you can see in the description, creating list of games with children plus practicing. Next one is learning about interactive ways of delivering information, practicing. Next one, ISECers should prepare presentations for this day. Yes. So, day 3 will be dedicated for presentation skills, public speaking, interaction with the taker. Yes, and what will be in this day? It's rules of good presentations, ways of facilitation, clear expectation setting, and rules of work with the takers. Yeah, and actually, like, again, why this day is special? Because we will invite the takers for like to first for the first meeting with EPs. And here, as you can see, that we need to invite them for 2-3 hours for the next agenda. So yeah, explain what is ISEC, about some history and current activities, to explain what is the project about, again remind about working hours of EPs if they don't know, so we need to tell them, okay, so EP in your like school should work not more than 3 hours or something like this. Expectation about EP's profile. We need to remind to operator that EPs are not English professional teachers, they are volunteers. And also in the end, one of the most important things is meeting with the EPs, get to know each other, and expectation setting. Yes. So important thing, you need to call to a taker and invite him at least few days, not few days, but actually 2 weeks perfectly before EPs are coming and before this day 3. Next one is session with the taker should be facilitated only by LCP or LCP iGV with presence of team leader. In case if you don't have this person like on the place, like for some reason, so for sure it should be facilitated by experienced team leader and the person that you can trust in terms of communication with the takers. And day 4 and day 5 is materials preparation. So these days are need to be for preparation of presentations and practicing. So on day 4 I recommend to prepare 2 presentations. You can choose different topics before, and yes, so they design, they prepare, yes, and then they present, and then you give feedback time for flow and design, and if they will have time also for presenting, right? And day 5, so they get some feedback, they understand what they were doing good, like not in the best way, and they prepare one more presentation together with the pair, and they present one more time, and they will have 20 minutes per each pair. And also like there is agenda, like if you will see for some weeks for different, let's say, age types of children. So for children, for example, for 2 weeks from 13 to 17, right, for 5 weeks and so on. So right now we have agenda for children from 13 to 17 years old, and very soon the agenda for younger children will come. So yeah, you can see how it looks like. So I recommend you to go through all of the agenda, and also here you will have space to put some support materials from your side. Some of the materials are already here, but you need also to put something from your side. And methods of the session delivery is listed here. One more thing that actually like a lot of people have during realization, it's again materials preparation and preparation of these materials on time. So what I propose you to do is to use this tracker of presentations. Yes, it's also there is this tab in the agenda. So you can write sessions name, responsible speakers, also feedback pair. For example, it could be team leader or team member, and also checklist for things done. For example, you know that 2 EPs from I don't know, China and Turkey, they did draft PT. Like you could click, they gave you this for feedback, you gave the feedback, they dry run the presentation, I mean they presented first time, then they check logistics, they do final PPT, and for sure uploaded the session to the folder, not to miss it. Okay, yes, so if they did all of these things, the session is ready. So I really recommend you to do this. It can help you in terms of tracking and preparation even in advance. Yes, so right now will be some part about standards. Like I already will tell you that this part will be not fully like about full booklet of standards. You can read it by yourself. It's very understandable there. But this will be the part about some standards that you need to pay like attention on, and people were asking me to put them in this webinar. So yeah, you can also find PDF version of booklet is here, and editable version, for example, for your IPS or explanation to the EPs, you can find by this link. So don't forget about this to use it after. Yes, so you can see that right now exchange standards looks like that. And there are blocks of preparation standards, experience standards, and post-experience standards. So um, you need to like understand that there is home entity and host entity responsible for the standards. So home entity responsible for these three standards, as you can see: personal goal setting, outgoing preparation, and insurance. And also like home entity is responsible for the brief with ISIC. Maybe you are curious what is the brief. So the brief is, let's say, evaluation of the internship, right? Right. Yes. So, host entity, we are responsible for 12 standards from 16. It's a lot. And you can see that from preparation standards, expectation, visa and work permit, arrival pickup, accommodation, and incoming preparation, which is incoming preparation seminar. And from experience, when EP already come to Ukraine, so it's first day of work, align spaces with opportunity provider, job description, working hours, duration, opportunity benefits, and departure support. Yes, so this is the standards delivered by home entity 4, and this is the standards delivered by host entity. So yeah, clarification: host entity is Ukraine, and home entity is the entity that is responsible for outgoing preparation. And yeah, I had one question from team leader: what is EP manager? So EP manager is the person that is responsible for sending EP abroad. And one more thing, before we will go through this like a little bit more in detail. So explanation: what is complete? So actually complete is person who is realized plus standards plus field LDA. Yes, so if the person will do all of these things, the person will become like, if we provided the standards and if the standards put it yes, so the person will become complete. So we need to provide 14 from 16 standards, but like for some of the reasons, maybe you cannot provide 2 standards, but these 2 standards can be only from the next list. So it's arrival pickup, first day of work, working hours, and departure support. You have a right to not provide like 2 of the standards, and like in this case the person still can be complete. But again, I'm telling, we should not actually care about this, because we should really strive for delivering all of the standards. And these standards are super important, so like really try to deliver all of them. It's not so hard as it seems. Okay, and right now let's go for expectation setting, standards that I want you to pay like a little bit more attention right now. So what is expectation setting? So this like this onboarding, or let's say booklet, or like I don't know in what way you will do, or webinar, right? So this info stuff should include information about culture, political situation, safety, living standards, home and host conditions, contacts, and accommodation conditions. So this is expectation settings, and you need to explain to EP that we are setting expectations like this. Yes. So also when EP will fill the standards form, it will look like this question: did ISIC in, for example, Dnipro prepare you with basic information for the destination you were headed? So the EP, the volunteer will have 2 variants to answer: yes or no. Yes, so I really recommend you here on this to get this expectation setting is to prepare webinar when you are telling about this all stuff. If you don't have expectation booklet, so I can provide you also from MC level. You can write me, or like firstly for sure ask your VP to give this expectation booklet, or to get it somewhere, so you can prepare your webinar based on this booklet. Okay, if to talk about pickup, so so you as host entity, as LC, should provide written information to the exchange participant or on any additional domestic transportation required to arrive at this pickup point. Yes, so here are some hints how to do this arrival pickup. So for sure, this should be communicated at least like 5 days before arrival. So if you need to know who will meet his or her like van and so on, where EP need to wait. Like a lot of problems actually happen because of EP sometimes have discharge phone like разряженный telephone, right? Or it's hard to connect to Wi-Fi, but the EP still doesn't have any card like SIM card. So you need to arrange it before. Like even if the person will be without phone, internet, and so on, you will know that okay, EP need to wait me here. I will wait for EP on this place. If the exchange participant is coming to another city, so it's better to communicate with the city like where EP come, like in the airport, right? In advance also, and to make sure that EP will be transferred to the needed place. Yes. Um, Again, and was the pickup, if the EP will see the question, was the pickup arrangement communicated before arrival and fulfilled? So answer yes or no. And also one more input from me. So for example, if you meet EPs at night and if you need for sure a taxi and you are not able to go on public transportation or anyway you will take a taxi, so please write to the EP in advance few days before. So yes, if you want to take a taxi or if you're coming late at night and you need to take a taxi, so please uh like pay for yourself if it's like it's 3-4 euros. Yes, if you don't cover it from your LC budget. If you cover it from your LC budget, amazing. Don't forget to take money to pay for this transportation. Accommodation. So this is standard number 7, which actually causes a lot of problems, really a lot. So by standards, accommodation conditions must include at least the following. First one, single bed, access to clean water, access to a bathroom, and access to electricity. So you can see that here there is no access to hot water or like kitchen and so on, but really about hot water, really make sure that EPs will have this hot water, because if not, I mean, really, we are normal people and we want to provide normal conditions, and especially like if this is winter, we need to make sure that EP will live in a proper condition. So hot water should be for sure. If you are not providing hot water, like I'm telling you, 100% you will have complaints, and 100% it's not okay. Also, like for example, if because of some things you will not have any access to kitchen, yes, so just communicate about this in advance, and really be helpful, like present it in the way, okay, like we don't have access to kitchen unfortunately, yes, but we can bring you kettle or some additional things that you can use, or I don't know, like for example, if you provide the accommodation like where there is no Wi-Fi or something, so you're then okay, there is no Wi-Fi, but we can like provide you our office when you will need to use the internet and to work on presentations and so on and so on. Yes, so the really attitude should be like this. No, we provide you this, if you don't like, it's your problem, but be helpful to EPs. And also, if to talk about communication in on ISEC.org, like sorry, the question on ISEC.org. So very important. Please take it into point. So the question will be next. Was the communication according to the expectations set with you by ISEC? So it's not about only like do you provide this stuff, but what thing EP expect, what things this exchange participants think will be here in Ukraine. So to cut all of the like let's say miscommunication, all of the dreams of EPs that you cannot cover. So you need to have this webinar expectation setting, calls, and so on. So please pay attention to this. And yeah, if you still don't have accommodation, so it's already time to decide with it. incoming preparation. So basically speaking, it's incoming preparation seminar. So here should be provided space to follow up on exchange participant personal goals. Yes, and to tell about culture and living standards. So in a lot of LCs, like you do your own incoming preparation seminar. So just make sure that you will really put the expectation and this stuff that is listed. Yes, and question, did Isaac in Ukraine, in Ternopil, in Kyiv, invite you to attend preparation seminar at your place? So yes, EP can attend, yes, EP cannot attend, and no. From my side, like even if you see this variance, I really tell you to make EPs come on this preparation seminar or to meet with EPs personally then, if they could not, to explain all of the details. Working hours. So very important thing. So EP on GB can work minimum 25 hours. It's not like maximum, it's minimum 25 hours per week. Yes, and you need to communicate also in advance. You need to communicate also in advance with your EPs. Like if you are changing something, or if you, for example, put that EP should work from 10 till 4, but then EP is not working from 10 till 4, you should tell it to EP, because he or she will expect one thing and you will do another one. Yes, and here is a small checklist, what you need to do 1 month before realization. I hope you already saw it in Telegram, but still. Yes, so as a team leader, you need to gather all documents on Podio, update EP status on Podio. Yes, of course, check visa status and status of IL of EP. Send expectation booklet, so it's 1 month before realization. If you don't have it, ask your VP, ask me, we will help you and provide you, let's say, template for it. Agenda to EP. So you can start already to send the basic agenda or basic schedule, what you will do with volunteers. Check, do you have all EP takers, delegates, do you have accommodation and venue? Because like if you will not check it right now, in January when the holidays will come, everything will be closed and you will be just not able to do it. Call to EP takers to set expectations and risk of visa rejection. So here is important point. Because for example, you need to call to EP taker to align, like, okay, what do you expect from volunteers? What do you expect from us as organization? Maybe like we need some additional meeting, blah blah blah. And also, if you understand that some of the EPs cannot come because of visa rejection, so you are telling to EP taker next. You are telling that, like, because of some reasons, because of the visa and so on, like there is a possibility that EP cannot come. So for sure we will inform you a little bit later in the beginning of the year, or like 1 or 2 weeks before realization. But like there is a possibility that EP cannot come. We can find you EP on summer or on the dates you want and so on. But yes, like sorry again that this happened. And also, like, remember that EP taker, like the most probably in 95% they like did not pay anything yet. So it's also okay, like if you just postpone your EP for a little bit. Have a plan of project showcasing, so you need to think how you will gather the photos, videos, and how you will make your project the loudest in Ukraine. Update budget with your VP. Very important thing, because like as team leader, you should understand how much money, how much EP fee EPs will pay, and how much money you should spend on accommodation, on other stuff, and so on and so on. So usually like this budgets were planned in August, in September, and so on. But a lot of things changed from this time, so you need to replan it right now before realization to understand whole picture. Really to ask your VP for a meeting and to do this. And you need to do this. Yes. Also, if talk about OP takers, so there is an OP taker tracker. So one of the biggest problems that usually like teams are facing, that few days before realization they just remind themselves that, oh, I don't like my EPs will not have anything to do for 1 week. So imagine the situation that you raised, for example, OP taker for EP number 2 from 16th till 30th of January, and then from 6th January till 20th of January, right? But this period, like EP, like it's 5 or 6 days, EP will not have anything to do. So from your side, you need to make sure that you will have no gaps like this, except weekends, of course, and you will provide EP really job description for all of the period. You can find this Taker preparation tracker here by the link. Also, 2 weeks before realization, don't forget to plan already arrival pickup. So EP and you need to know like who, when, and how will meet the EP. Deliver webinar for EPs. This is the time to align all of the things, to align JD, to align money, to answer all of the questions. Yes, have personal call with EP, so we get to know each other, and also like making sure that EP know like what to do, how to do, what presentations to prepare, how much money to take, and so on. Check visa, OP taker and accommodation, invite OP taker for incoming preparation seminar, and inform about EP's arrival. So you need to call 2 weeks before realization starts to OP taker and say, like, we are inviting you for incoming preparation seminar, and also to inform that on this date, on 20th of January, our EPs will come and start work at your place. So do it before, do it 2 weeks, like in advance for realization. Organize groups in language school. So most probably you will have participants, so you need to have time to organize groups in language school. Yes, if you plan any trips with EPs, it's time to write about them. So if you're going to Carpathian Mountains, or if you're going, I don't know, to Kyiv, to Odessa, so EP need to know like at which week it will happen, and to save some money. Start IPS preparation and give contacts of body person. Yes, so 3 days before realization, you can go here. Yes, so it's team meeting for final alignment. Make sure that the P can tell about project in the airport, that he or she know information about it, and send information if needed. Remind OP taker about payment. Inform accommodation about exact time of EPs arriving. Inform EPs about arrival, taxi payment, as I was telling before, and for sure invite EPs for IPS. Yes, every week during realization. So it's team meeting and call with EP. Like for sure, you can do it together or personally, just to align and get all of the feedback needed. Yes, track EPs with materials preparation. You as team leader need to really be responsible for this. Communicate with the taker and gather feedback. Gather showcasing materials after realization. So you need to, first of all, go to a taker because he was your partner, say thank you, take feedback, present certificate, and race for summer peak. So it's your responsibility. It's responsibility not of the next team leader, but your responsibility. You can take this team leader with you, but still present certificate to host family. Communicate with EPs about completed, and say like remind them 5 times to fill the form and to track their OGV site and so on. Gather showcasing materials, also super important. Yeah, so just few highlights about attitude and everyday relations with EPs. So yeah, take care about EPs, but remember that EPs are not children. So sometimes we are really, acting with them like children, so they're not feel responsible for themselves. We need to give them this responsibility and independence, but still we need to care about them. You need to be strict and disciplined with EPs. Yeah, this is for sure true, like you need to do if you want to have successful project. Listen and be patient. Don't be rude at all, like really don't scream like on EPs in a negative way, like really never. because it will make the situation only worse. EPs and the takers are customers, and we need to provide them proper experience, right? So also remember this point. And if EP approach you with problem, don't ignore them and start to solve this problem immediately. Don't wait 3 days until the situation will become a disaster. Try to solve this immediately, ASAP, as soon as possible. Yes. Also, my learnings from realization as team leader and VP iGV. So first one, you need to put discipline with EPs from the beginning. You need to communicate with EPs about changes and schedule something not 2-3 days before, otherwise you'll have complaints. First week is super important in terms of communication and routine set. So, you need to really write everything in advance and start to work with EPs here very detailed, because first week is setting of everything. So setting of culture, setting of discipline, setting of a lot of stuff. So you as team leader should be responsible for making this week productive and as you want. Communication is the key. If you don't reply on time to your EPs, team members, on IR team members, yes, or IR partners, it's disaster. Really, it's disaster, because then EP can create drama, or your IR partner will be worried again, like, where is this person, why he or she is not replying, maybe something wrong, and so on. More details and clarification, if you will give more of it, you will have less questions in the future. So be as much detailed as possible. Try to really explain everything. And everything should be prepared and checked at least 1 week before EPs will come. So if you will have everything in advance, it would be cool. Yeah. And you should have solution-oriented mindset. So never think that, okay, we have a problem, it's bad. Think, okay, we have a problem, how to solve it? Really, how to make it better, and start to solve this problem as soon as possible. Yeah, so right now some people, I prepared also some stuff with common questions and doubts. So first one, how to get more completeness during realization, because we have a problem with it. So first one is ask EP to fill standards form 3 times on IPS, on feedback space, and on closing seminar. Also, 1 week before EP come to Ukraine, track EP manager and EP about outgoing standards. Did this manager provided outgoing preparation seminar, expectation setting, and so on. So what is the role of buddies? Buddy, a lot of people confuse them with local volunteers and actually don't know how, what is their job description. So first one is goal setting in Ukraine. So this body needs to set the goals here, what EP want to develop, and do it preferably with personal development plan. Very easy. No need to get some super fancy this personal development plan, just some points that you want to develop. I And also it should be perfectly in 3 meetings. So during first week, in the middle of the experience, and in the end of the experience. Also, body should be responsible for logistical support. So body need to meet EP in the airport to do the city excursion, to tell, okay, this is the city, this is cool shops, this is where the place where you can eat cheap, and this is the place where you can buy some groceries, blah blah blah. Also, body is the person who EP can trust and give feedback. So that's why I recommend to take buddies outside of the organization, or at least outside from your team. So the person will be free to talk and really explain the situation. What is the role of local volunteers? So the role of local volunteers is the same as EP's role, but they can work by different agenda, from, let's say, home accommodation. So this is Ukrainians that decided to join the project. So if you're taking these people to the project, they also have same responsibilities, but you have also responsibility for them and their experience. So don't confuse them with buddies. It's not like your robocia sila to help to work with EPs. They should have similar experience to EPs. Also, you need to what to do in case of serious problems, police, health, or legal. So first one, talk with your VP and try to solve this problem together with EP. And if needed, inform EP manager about this. What to do if EP behaves inappropriate? What mean inappropriate? So if EP is late, rude, don't want to pay TNP, or like I hope this will not happen, harassment. So first one, talk with your VP and try to solve it together with EP, and also inform EP manager if needed, like the same as previous one. Yes, and just input about TNF. So try to gather TNF on IPS or before, not later, because if you are gathering it later, the higher possibilities that EP will not pay. Yeah. Okay. So some homework for you till the end of the week. So first one is read standards booklet, update statuses on Podio, do things from 1 month checklist, go through agenda. So right now it's questions time. And actually it's all. Thank you so much. Yes. So I hope this webinar was useful for you. You can find me like in Telegram in case of any more questions. And yeah, just one input from me. Like more you prepare right now,